I think it'll work because of Mike Tomlin, without a doubt, because, it's a different day and age now, but there is nobody, in my opinion, at just what I was talking about, of understanding what everybody needs to be at their best. It is never about his ego. It's about, what I have to do to get this job done. And I think that's been shown through the years. Now, I know there hadn't been a playoff win in a Super Bowl, but you're playing without a quarterback for the most part. They're doing the best they can.
Aaron Rodgers hasn't played a single snap for the Pittsburgh Steelers yet, but the front office is already planning for life after him, and head coach Mike Tomlin is leading that charge. This offseason, the Pittsburgh Steelers signed veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers to a one-year, $13.6 million deal. At 41 years old, Rodgers is entering his 20th NFL season. Though he's healthy following last season's Achilles recovery, signs indicate this will be his final campaign. According to multiple reports, Rodgers is expected to retire after the 2025 season, regardless of outcome. The Steelers have made no official statement about Rodgers' future. However, their offseason moves and statements from within the organization tell a clear story. They're preparing for a post-Rodgers era. Unlike his time in Green Bay or even his brief stint with the Jets, Rodgers will not have total autonomy over the Steelers' offense. Mike Tomlin has reportedly taken a more hands-on approach this season, ensuring offensive structure is consistent and sustainable beyond Rodgers' tenure. According to insider reports, Rodgers has had input, but Tomlin and OC Arthur Smith are building the system to outlast the quarterback. This is a major shift. Rodgers is known for his freelance style and audible-heavy game management, but in Pittsburgh, the emphasis is on rhythm, protection, and controllable play calling. The goal? A smooth transition to the next quarterback in 2026. Tomlin's long-term planning is evident. While Rodgers will be QB1 in 2025, the Steelers are reportedly targeting quarterbacks in the upcoming 2026 NFL Draft. NFL insider Chris Carter noted on the Locked On Steelers podcast that the front office intends to preserve draft capital to potentially trade up for a top prospect. Texas Longhorns quarterback Arch Manning is widely expected to be the number one. First overall pick next year. Indiana's Fernando Mendoza is also drawing attention as a mid-round option. The Steelers' strategy appears clear. Use Rodgers as a bridge and build for a future franchise quarterback. Currently on the Steelers' roster are Mason Rudolph and Will Howard. Rudolph has started games in the past, but has not shown consistent starter-level performance. Howard, a recent acquisition, has promise, but lacks experience at the pro level. Neither is considered the franchise's long-term answer at the position. Tomlin has praised both players' work ethic, but stopped short of declaring either as Rodgers' successor. The organization's lack of movement toward extending either quarterback further confirms the team's likely draft plans. Tomlin is under mounting pressure. The Steelers have not won a playoff game since 2016, tying them with the Miami Dolphins for the longest active postseason drought in the league. In that span, Pittsburgh has cycled through 5 different Week 1 starting quarterbacks. The team's lack of stability at the position has been a consistent obstacle. The urgency to win now is heightened by the aging core of the defense. Cam Hayward and TJ Watt remain elite, but their windows are narrowing. A successful 2025 campaign is critical for both veteran morale and fan confidence. Former Steelers offensive coordinator Todd Haley defended Tomlin recently, pointing to the team's quarterback instability as a key reason for postseason failures. On the This Is Football podcast, Haley argued that no coach can win consistently without a reliable QB. Still, critics argue that Tomlin has not adapted well to the evolving quarterback market, nor developed in-house talent effectively. That dichotomy frames this season as a make-or-break scenario. Rodgers provides temporary stability, but long-term solutions must begin forming immediately. While the Steelers have been linked to big-name players like cornerback Jalen Ramsey, those discussions appear more speculative than actionable. NFL insiders suggest the team is reluctant to part with future high-round draft picks, which they may need to secure a top quarterback in 2026. Steelers beat writers have confirmed that the team is closely monitoring multiple quarterback prospects while evaluating internal options. This reaffirms the idea that 2025 is a transition year, not just for Rodgers, but for the direction of the entire offense. Rodgers will start the season with DK Metcalf as WR1, but beyond him, the depth chart raises questions. George Pickens was traded to Dallas, leaving Calvin Austin III, Robert Woods, and rookie Roman Wilson to fight for the wide receiver 2 role. Analysts like Mike Florio have suggested the Steelers pursue another veteran, such as Keenan Allen, to stabilize the receiving core. A lack of consistent receiving threats would not only impact Rodgers this season, but hinder the development of any young quarterback the Steelers bring in next year. Tomlin and GM Omar Khan face pressure to balance current competitiveness with future readiness. The Steelers' 2025 approach underscores a critical balance, maximizing Rodgers' final year while laying groundwork for the next decade. That's why Tomlin's recent actions, tightening control over the offense, preserving draft picks, and evaluating the QB landscape matter so much. This isn't just about one season. It's about the identity and future of one of the NFL's most storied franchises. And Mike Tomlin, entering his 19th season as head coach, is at the center of that transformation. Rodgers' signing gave the Steelers a shot of immediate credibility, but his stay will be short. What happens next, especially at quarterback, will define Mike Tomlin's legacy. Tomlin is taking calculated steps to ensure the team doesn't just fade into another rebuild. He's preparing his staff, refining the offense, and evaluating not just his starters, but future stars. With a deep 2026 quarterback class looming, every decision this season is aimed at setting up Pittsburgh for long-term success. The Steelers know the clock is ticking, not just on Rodgers' career, but on the franchise's relevance in a hyper-competitive AFC. Their every move, from draft picks to mid-season trades, will be scrutinized. The 2025 season isn't just about surviving, it's about launching into the next era. If the plan fails, it could mark the end of Tomlin's tenure. But if it works, it might just revive a dynasty. Don't miss what happens next. Hit that like button, subscribe for all the latest NFL drama, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, and what could be the most pivotal season in Pittsburgh's recent history.